What's going on, guys? We are back here for another episode of The Hustle. Today, I am with the man, the myth, the legend. Tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Harry Feiner with William Ravis Real Estate. I'm a sales vice president in Glastonbury, Connecticut.
So, guys, today we are going to talk all about marketing. We're going to talk about relationship building, and we're going to have some tips for business owners when it comes to the single ladies. Let's roll that open. So first of all, why don't we begin by you telling everybody where we are. You picked a gorgeous location for us.
Well, thank you. We're at a house at 5 South Pond Road in South Glastonbury, Connecticut. It's a stone's throw from what I call a slice of Vermont. If you come to South Glastonbury Village, and I had you blindfolded, took the blindfold off, you'd swear you were in Vermont. It's a nice little village with lots of restaurants and shops, and it's a different style of living.
If you're going to blindfold me, can you at least give me maple syrup so it smells like I'm in Vermont too?
I can take you up the street to a maple syrup farm.
So listen, tell me a little bit about how long you've been doing this.
I've been doing this for 16 years.
So one could argue that you know people pretty well, yeah?
Yes, in this business it's all about people. It's all about networking and having connections.
How have you built those relationships over the years?
Well, you know, in real estate, one is repeat buyers. You treat people well, they refer you to other people, they come back to you when their lifestyle changes, whether they're downsizing or upsizing. But it's also building an affinity group of contractors in the business. Because if you think about it, when you have a house, things can go wrong. You need a new roof, you need a new well, you need to connect to the water, you need your floors sanded, you need to buy carpet, window shades. All of those things that are around the house, I have a complete cadre of business partners, or affinity partners as I call them, people that I have referred, I trust, they do good work, my customers like them, and their prices are fair.
So I want to talk for a second about millennials.
Sure.
You know, it's a demographic that a lot of business owners struggle to understand and struggle to figure out how to hire them or how to sell to them. Safe to say that you're not a millennial, right?
A couple of millennial.
But you also have millennials who are on your team. You have a lot of millennials that you sell to. But one of the things that I noticed that I thought was really cool is that you actually sort of do business like a millennial. Tell everybody about how you've integrated in technology and cell phones and videos and how you communicate with people.
So, great question. The millennials have actually changed the real estate market. When I was in real estate 4 years in the 70s, and I've been back for 12 years. In the 70s, we had a telephone book. That was our internet. It came out every 2 weeks. You couldn't lend it to anybody. And you had some flip cards. That's not the way today. And it was, people looked in the newspaper to find a house for sale. Today, everything is the internet.
What's a newspaper?
Yeah, what's a newspaper? You're right.
Is that one of those things that you flip like this, right?
Sure, and you get all that black ink on you. Newspapers still have a place in the business, but with the internet is where 90% of the business is conducted today. With all of the different companies, Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Ravis.com, we like to say we have one of the foremost websites in the business, and we spend a lot of money on IT, and it's because our founder, Bill Ravis, was a computer programmer 45 years ago. He gets IT and understands how to leverage it. And I've started to do that also to try to change how I market houses.
Sure.
So I've been using Facebook, and the Feiner team in real estate is my Facebook. And what I'm putting on it is I'm doing video tours walking through a house.
Awesome.
So you think about it, when a realtor lists a house, they know more about that house than any other realtor because they bond with the house. I like to say they bond with the house because you do. You say, hey, this has got a great kitchen, and you're showing that energy and fire about your enthusiasm with that kitchen. But how do you transfer that to some other realtor? So I put that in a Facebook video now.
You know, that comes back to one of the things that I tell people all the time, which is that the most effective form of marketing is storytelling. And that's all that you're doing. You're telling the story of the house and the home and why to buy that property. And you're telling that story of lifestyle. I'm constantly preaching about how it's all about not selling a product necessarily, and this is a big product, but it's about selling that lifestyle. You look at Yeti and Red Bull and the North Face, and the way that they're selling their brand is selling that lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you mentioned the millennials a minute ago, and there's another a dynamic in the market today that not a lot of millennials are taking advantage of. And that is that they're renting.
Sure.
They may be spending $1,800 to $2,200 a month in rent. The CHFA, Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, has gone back a few years and brought something back called 105% mortgage. As long as you don't make too much money, you have good credit, you can apply to get 100% mortgage, plus they'll give you 5% on top of that to pay for your closing costs. And many times, the monthly mortgage nut is less than you're paying rent. So why would you want to take $30,000 a year and throw it out the window? Because when you rent, you're getting a nice place to live and you don't have any responsibilities.
You're paying someone else's mortgage.
But you're paying somebody else's mortgage. Why not pay your own mortgage? And the time is right for those young millennials and people getting out of college. Don't rent. Look at buying something. Even if you don't have to buy a house, you could buy a nice condo, and that could be your first place to start with.
Gotcha. Now, one final question for you. I want to talk about, I know it's going to be a favorite topic among many people who are watching right now. I want to talk about single ladies.
So
you're sort of the expert on the single ladies, right?
Yeah, well, you know.
Are you blushing right now?
Yeah, I am. So it's one of the hottest markets in real estate. And you've got
Is that a pun? The hottest
market. You could call it that.
So why is it such a hot market?
Well, you think about it, you got a lot of single women that are becoming professionals. They're building careers and they need a place to live. So they've been off renting, but as their income is starting to progress, they need tax deductions. So tax deduction is owning a property versus renting a property. Same thing when I talked about the other younger rental individuals. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't get any tax deductions because the rent money is not tax deductible. So get yourself a property, start to leverage that tax deduction, and start to build some equity in the property. And the young females that are, as I mentioned, are in the early career stages and they're starting to move up and getting more income, it's the perfect opportunity for them to do some investment.
You know, I think one of the other benefits too, so I owned a house before I got married, my wife owned a house before we got married. I couldn't, I'm about as mechanically and technically inclined as a box of hair. So that nice benefit too is that my wife is able to fix stuff that I would never dream of being able to fix.
I could use a box of hair.
Final opportunity, shameless plug, anything you want to pass along?
Well,
and where can people follow you on social media? Because you've sort of become a little bit of a media whore in a good way.
So I do have a Facebook, and Facebook is the Finer Team in Real Estate. I also can be reached at www.harryfiner, that's FINER, .raveis, RAVEIS.com. That's my website.
Guys, the tip of the day right here is provide value, provide value, provide value. By Harry and his team providing value to people, they become the experts, they become the go-to resource when it comes time to sell a house. So regardless of what business you're in, whether you're in real estate, you own a marketing agency, you're in medical marijuana, who cares what business you're in, constantly be providing that value and expertise. Make sure to follow us, The Silent Partner Marketing, on Devon, let's edit in a little, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter up here. Guys, we'll see you all next time. We're gonna leave you with some behind the scenes shots of this absolutely gorgeous house because they were so kind to let us film here. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you
so much, appreciate it.
Yeah.